Okay guys, in this video we're going to talk about a few deleted scenes from the final season and how important they are, and how some of them could have changed the final season for the better, starting with a White Walker revelation scene that was cut. John Bradley or Samuel Tarly and Hannah Murray, an actress that plays Gilly, talked to Digital Spy about their favorite cutscene, where they revealed there was a great scene that provided some insight on the White Walkers, but the showrunners eventually decided to cut it out. "We did a scene together where Gilly talks about the White Walkers that I really enjoyed," Murray said. "I had a kind of a monologue about them, and that ended up not making it on the show. It was just a really kind of lovely backstory because it's easy to forget because she's come so far, that she had a deeper understanding that we maybe realized I thought was a really cool scene." Murray says the scene would have emotionally taken Gilly back to that world of being in Craster's Keep. Gilly is one of the Free Folk, and is a daughter and wife of Craster, the guy who sacrificed his 99 sons to the White Walkers. Gilly is the mother and half-sister of a baby named Sam, who was conceived through a forced relationship with her late father. He was Craster's 100th son, and he was also meant to become a White Walker, before Sam saved Gilly and her baby boy. So in the mentioned deleted scene it said that Gilly is talking about White Walkers, and how she has some in-depth understanding about them. I assume it was her talking about the White Walkers being her kin, and how her son was supposed to become 100th Craster's son to become a White Walker. This scene was probably meant to be somewhere in the second episode, just before the Night King arrives at Winterfell. There are two possible reasons why this scene did not make it to the screen. One possibility is that it wasn't a really important scene, and got cut due to time restrictions. Other, and in my opinion more likely possibility, is that this scene revealed too much about White Walkers, and thus got cut. One of the biggest complaints most fans have about the final season is that the Night King turned out to be such a joke of a villain, and the White Walker story did not make any sense. We did not get any answers, any revelations. We find out nothing about him. When you think about it, it's unacceptable and mind-blowing that we know just as much about him now when the series is over, as we knew back 10 years ago when the series began. But it is what it is. I think the show did not get much into the White Walker story because there's the Game of Thrones prequel show in making, and that show will be about them. Thus, if Game of Thrones answered everything we want to know about the White Walkers, there will be no need for this prequel. HBO's Game of Thrones prequel series is set to begin filming in June, and we now know it will be shooting under the working title Blood Moon. The show doesn't have an official title yet, although it's often unofficially referred to, especially by George R. R. Martin, as The Long Night, since it's set during that period of Game of Thrones history, about 8,000 years before the War of the Five Kings. According to the official synopsis, the show will chronicle the world's descent from the golden age of heroes into its darkest hour, specifically the Long Night, when the White Walkers moved south and spread terror and darkness. It also promises to reveal the true origin of the White Walkers, the mysteries of the East and the Starks of legend. The Game of Thrones did not get in depth into the White Walker story because there's the Game of Thrones prequel that will be about him, that's why Gilly's White Walker scene was cut. The next deleted scene from the final season supports theory about Jon Snow and dragons. The first episode of the final season saw Jon and Dany Targaryen take a spontaneous dragon flight to clear their heads. HBO has released a behind-the-scenes look at the episode, which includes a blooper that's very interesting. Not because of Kit Harington slipping on the ice and swearing, although it's funny, but the line he says just before that happens. In the scene where he and Dany walk in the snow together post-flight, Jon tells Dany, "You've completely ruined horses for me." Then in behind-the-scenes footage he adds, "It almost seemed like he knew where I wanted to go." We and Jon now know that Jon is in fact a Targaryen, the son of Dany's brother Rhaegar Targaryen, and Ned Stark's sister Lyanna. Dragons can respond to the will of the Targaryen they are connected to, and the fact that Jon did sense the dragon could pick up on his thoughts should suggest to Dany that Jon is more than he seems. The Game of Thrones co-creator David Benioff added more context in the featurette, saying only Targaryens can ride dragons, and that should be a sign for Jon. It's a major thing for her when she sees they have some kind of connection to him. They allow him to be around them. Not quite sure why this scene did not make it to the screen. There are also a few Tormund Brienne deleted scenes that are said to be hilarious. In my opinion, Gilly's the White Walker scene should have made it to the screen, and at least then we would have a bit of feeling that their story is not such a waste. We should have gotten the answers in the final season about the White Walkers and the Night King, but instead we are left with no answers and disappointed. In the next video I'm going to talk more about the Game of Thrones prequel, what it's going to be about and who's the cast. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.